Hi, everyone. I want to talk about the placebo again. It's such a magnificent example for me of something which can heal in such an amazing and dramatic way that I keep going back to it. I've written papers on the placebo response, and in that paper that I wrote, the placebo varied between 8 and 81%. There is no drug that's going to beat 81%, and that's the reason why what tends to happen in science is that, especially when we're dealing with drug trials, that if the placebo effect is better than the drug, it just doesn't get published. So it's difficult to tell exactly how powerful it is. So when I say 8 and 81%, those are the studies, it doesn't really cover the full story here, because drug companies will not publish negative studies. They publish studies in which the drug is better than the placebo, but not when the placebo is better than the drug. So what is this saying to us? What is the placebo saying to us? I mean, everybody thinks, oh, it's just a placebo, it's just a non-medicated pill. No, it's much, much more than that. And I've probably mentioned it before. The very act of handing somebody a placebo pill, even if they don't believe in the placebo effect, it is enough, because you're giving them something, you're handing them over something. It's kind of like a gift. So it's why, if we look at the bigger picture of the placebo, why it's so important, these symbolic gestures that we do all the time, like putting your hand out to shake somebody's hand, or hugging someone, or sending somebody flowers, or saying a kind word to someone. All these fit in with the framework of what I call the placebo. We respond to ceremony, we respond to rituals, we respond to symbols, and we respond in a very deep and meaningful way. And of course, the more the giver of these symbols, the more, in a way, full and rich and powerful the person is, the more it has an effect on the person. But even if you feel meek and mild and you just give somebody a little gift, a little stone that you picked up on the ground and you've given it to someone, even that is meaningful very often to the person that's receiving it. All these are placebo effects. Our lives are governed. Our lives are full of these rituals that we do. Even people that are skeptics and non-believers, I mean, as I've said before, they fill their house up with all kinds of symbols that are meaningful to them, because they have an effect. We are constantly, in a way, choosing things that have meaning and in some way enrich us. Whatever it is, whether it's a painting on the wall, or whether it's the color that we even paint our walls in, the chair that we like to sit in. All these are rituals, ceremonies that we do without even thinking about it, and it all affects us. And it's not the thinking mind. I keep pointing out the thinking mind. All it does is think. It's not. It's useful. I love my thinking mind, and I certainly use it to make maps. I love making maps, but it's not the territory, as I keep pointing out. So, yeah, we need to realize that our lives are magical. Otherwise, we keep thinking our lives are a bit boring, not that interesting. Look around you. Start to shift your perspective on things and see the gifts that are out there. In the tree, waving in the wind. The flowers that I met on my walk this morning, all of them are gifts. Because I choose. I choose to see the beautiful meaningfulness of it all. Because remember that there is the placebo and there's the nocebo. The nocebo is the opposite effect of the placebo. Very, very powerful. I mean, there are people that take advantage of the nocebo effect. Cursing, for example, to curse someone. Serious stuff. See, because if you're susceptible to it, and as I said, even if you're not, it can still have a negative effect on you. So, as I said, even people that don't believe in the placebo can still be affected by the placebo because of the ceremony. It goes very deep. So the nocebo, negative, and the negative side of it, how people can curse, how people can say words that are especially when you say very negative words, it comes often with anger and resentment. Very powerful stuff. People have to be quite strong in themselves not to be affected by it all. So, yeah, so we need to begin to be careful how we deal with life. Placebo has really taught me more than anything else that it's life is precious, and we need to be kind, sympathetic, loving, as much as we can if we want to be a healer. And that's what healing is all about. Anybody can be a healer. Anybody with a kind word can be a healer. Anybody with a kind touch is a healer. Anybody who knows how to hug is a healer. Because those are the simple things. How deep they go. My own feeling is that they go very deep. I've spoken about spontaneous remissions of cancer. People that go to Lourdes in France, I think it's France, yeah, to get healing at the healing waters. People that respond to healers of all kinds. All that is within the range of what we can refer to as a placebo response, but to remember that the placebo is much deeper than we think. Very profound and very beautiful. Have a good day.